Hello and welcome to Bears Talk presented by J. Brown Realtors on this Thursday, November 16th. The Lenoir-Rhyne football team are the South Atlantic Conference champions and they will be playing postseason football here at Moret Stadium. We are joined alongside by the head football coach, Mike Jacobs. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Sure, thanks for having me, Andy.
When you look at this SAC championship, it is your first one here in your 4 years in Hickory. What does this mean for you, for the program, and for the university to get the job done?
I mean, it means quite a bit, right? I mean, I'll start with just our players. The core foundation of this team are a group of guys that were recruited here in our first cycle in 2020, and for them to persevere through COVID, and then, just the time it takes to develop. I couldn't be more proud and happy for them and what they accomplished on Saturday. And then, as far as the staff goes, those guys are tireless in how they prepare. And, they give up quite a bit of time with their families, and they make a lot of sacrifices to pour into our young men in our program. And, for them to have the success as a staff is also just unbelievable. And then, for LR in general, right, we expect Dr. Witt's his thing is rings and degrees, right? And so, we've done a great job in the classroom since we've been here, but to finally get the trophy and finish the way we had hoped was awesome. And just great scene at the conference championship game at Tusculum last week. It was great to be a part of.
We look at performances and championship rewarding performances, and then there's 48-7. That was the final score of the game. You think about the game plan leading up to Tusculum. It was executed perfectly. What are your thoughts about how your team performed and played a complete 60 minutes?
Again, it all goes back to the kids and their execution. I thought our coaches did a great job putting them in position to have success, and then it's up to them to execute. And I thought that, we talked all week about doing the things that lead to success and letting the outcome kind of come naturally. And, our kids showed up ready to play in all three phases, and I really just thought from start to finish, they really dominated the football game.
You take a look back to your first year here at Lenoir-Rhyne, you make the SAC championship game, you come up just short to Tusculum. Is there an extra level of satisfaction that you were able to go to Greenville, Tennessee this week and get the title to bring it back to Hickory?
Not really. It makes for good media and fanfare, but at the end of the day, to have a chance to play for a championship, regardless of where it was at or who the opponent was, it just means that our kids have handled their business throughout the year, and we were excited to have that opportunity, and even more excited to win the game.
We look at some great players, and we talked a lot about the quarterback position. Sean White, Jalen Ferguson. Sean White gets to start for your team back on Saturday, and he pops off. SAC championship MVP, 300 yards to the air, 5 passing touchdowns. I know with the Ferguson situation right now, it can always be, you never really know who's going to get to go. But we talk about White's experience and his veteran leadership as well. How has he stayed prepared for when the time his name gets called that he's able to put a performance together like he did against Tusculum?
Sean's a really sharp kid, and I give him a lot of credit for handling, the quarterback change earlier in the season the way he did. He was a good teammate. He continues to work hard, and when he was called upon to lead this team, he's done what he's done. That kid's 13-3 as a starter. He's passed for over 600 yards and 8 touchdowns the last 2 weeks, and whether he's 1A or 1B or 2, the kid is a valuable member of our program, and I couldn't be more happy for his success. And then that's not to discredit anything Jalen does. Jalen still leads the country, I believe, in passing efficiency, and we're very, very fortunate to have a bunch of good quarterbacks in that room, and whoever's called, they come out and play well, and it's a testament to Coach Soto for having those guys ready to play at the level that they have, and multiple players with balancing reps and whatnot in practice.
Now it's an exciting time of year. The NCAA playoffs are here. You guys get the 4 seed. The selection show will be announced on Sunday. What is it like for you and your first time you're going to be able to host a playoff game here in Hickory as the head coach? How excited are you for that opportunity?
We think it's a tremendous advantage to have home field advantage between the bricks, right? We talk all the time about what an unbelievable game day atmosphere we have, and that the city of Hickory and the LR community provide for our players. And so to be able to eliminate the travel and then also be able to be at a very familiar place where we've played really good football all year, I think is a big deal. And for our kids, they love the opportunity to play at home and play between the bricks, so they'll get another opportunity, one extra one at least this Saturday.
You made the NCAA playoffs back in 2021. How much experience from that game 2 years ago is going to help you as a coach coming into this playoff game?
You learn a little bit about everything, right? We, had the unfortunate passing of a player the night before that game, or really the morning of that game, and just, I don't know that we were completely there mentally. And you're starting with a clean slate. We're in a much healthier place just in terms of this late in the season. The roster depth is in good shape, and we're excited to be back between the bricks.
Your opponent is the Shepherd Rams, and this might have thrown some people off because they are part of Super Region 1 out of the PSAC division. They come down, they're unseeded against your number 4 seeded Bears. What are your initial thoughts of the Shepherd Rams coming into this matchup?
Shepherd's a really good football team. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ernie Cook, their head coach. When I was a head coach at my previous institution, we were in the same conference for 4 years, from 3 years, 16, 17, 18, before they transitioned to the PSAC. So I have a fair amount of familiarity with them. I have a lot of respect for how he runs his program. They're coming off of back-to-back Final Four appearances. Their quarterback's starting for the Chicago Bears now, fortunately, but he's got a really good football team still. And I think the important thing is those kids know how to win, and they've made a deep playoff run. So even guys that are stepping into new roles for them are quite experienced, and again, just kind of that culture piece. So it's going to be a really good game on Saturday.
And lastly, you touched a little bit about the home field advantage with the LR fans and the Hickory community. What are your thoughts, and what do you want to say to them as they get to experience their first playoff game here between the bricks in 4 years' time?
Yeah, you're going to get to see 2 high-end football teams for an affordable price. The tailgate lot's open early. Come tailgate like a champion. Be as loud as you can be, and have a great time. It's a great place to bring your family, and again, we couldn't be more excited to host.
NCAA Division II playoffs begin here at Moretz Stadium. 1 p.m. kickoff on Saturday, November 18th. You heard what Coach had to say. It's going to be an exciting opening round matchup between the Bears and the Rams. You can, of course, come here or tune in on WHKY. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on the Bears Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Hello and welcome back to Bears Talk, presented by J. Brown Realtor. We are now joined alongside by Ella Garner, who is the 2023 SAC Women's Soccer Tournament MVP after the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears took down Catawba and penalty kicks to get the championship title. Ella, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Congratulations on winning the 2023 SAC Women's Soccer Tournament, a massive accomplishment. Now you got the regular season title and the championship title. What does that mean overall for your program?
For us overall, it's something we value. Every championship, every game, you value everything, especially like the little things. Those are obviously pretty big things, but there's been little successes throughout this season, but another win, another championship just helps our program to keep growing and keep expanding and getting better.
Flashback to Sunday at Matthews Sportsplex. Catawba misses the penalty kick, and you're up 3-1, and you're approaching the spot to potentially win the SAC championship. What's going through your mind as you're walking up to the spot?
I'm gonna be honest, I was walking up and I'm like, okay, I know where I'm gonna go with the ball. I'm just gonna do what I need to do, and I'm just gonna place it, and I'm just gonna go. Just be confident. I place the ball down where I usually logo's facing me, and I just go with it. And at the moment, I really wasn't thinking about that was gonna seal the win for us, because I was so focused on just what I had to do in that moment and that moment only.
With that penalty kick, you win the title, and then a little bit after the celebration and everything, you get to hear the all-tournament team get announced, and your name comes out last as the tournament MVP. How surprised were you maybe, or how proud were you that you got to be the tournament MVP as a freshman here at Lenoir-Rhyne?
I was shocked. I was not expecting it at all. You don't really hear it being a common thing for a defender to win an MVP award. So I was really proud of myself, and I felt like I played really well throughout the tournament and throughout the season, but it was just an honor to receive the MVP award.
You were part of a special group here at Lenoir-Rhyne with that back defense, Rhea Acton, Louise Berg, Anna Schuler, and yourself as well. You guys have been a back line that has been excellent on all schemes of things this season. But you look at it, and as a freshman, those are some great people that you get to play with. How have their help and their leadership really helped you bolster in your first year?
It was definitely helpful with their experience, especially with Louise, honestly, because I'm right beside her in the back line. And when I'd make a mistake, she'd be like, "Ella, it's okay, like, next one." Like, just like her support and their support overall and their leadership saying, on to the next thing if you make a mistake, and they're always picking you back up if something goes wrong. And then celebrating, like I said, the little things, like, that was a great pass, keep looking for that, or keep stepping like that, and then or if I'm unsure about something, I can ask them, and they're always there to answer my questions.
Yeah, you guys look like you've gelled really well, and so many different pieces about it as well with that backline defense. You got Acton, who was Defensive Player of the Year, but you also had first team All-SAC honors as well. You know, this last little stretch of your season has been marvelous. How have you really developed in your first time here at Lenoir-Rhyne? Because there's been so many accomplishments that you've already achieved.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I give a lot of credit to my teammates and my coaches because we're constantly challenging each other to get better each and every day. And I mean, it's just a battle every day to keep going and keep improving. And I've been working and dreaming of these moments since I was a little girl. So it's definitely rewarding for myself knowing that the sacrifices I've made have gotten me where I am right now.
After winning the SAC tournament, you guys clinched an automatic bid, but your resume was solid enough to get into the tournament regardless, but you clinched that #1 seed as well, left no doubt for the committee, which means you get to have the first 2 rounds here at Hickory. What does that mean for you and for the program to play here at Moretz?
I mean, we love playing at home, having our fan base there, and the energy is just so much different when it's on your home field, and that advantage, it's real, especially when you're traveling against a team that's like in your conference, as for say Catawba, but we play Carson Newman, so it's another in-conference team. So I mean, having that fan base is going to be huge, and just another moment to play at home together.
You mentioned Carson Newman. You played them last week in the SAC tournament and earlier on the season out in Jefferson City. That's the 1-8 matchup to get your tournament underway. What's the approach like differently this time into the NCAA tournament? Because they always say when you play a team 3 times, it gets a little tricky, but how have you guys prepared solid this week to take on the Eagles?
I mean, Coach Dean has talked about it with me and the rest of the team. Like, it's just, you know what they're going to do. There's no secrets for us. There's no secrets for them. You just focus on what we need to do as a team and keep playing the way we know how to play. If we play the right soccer and we connect together, we're going to be fine as long as we're locked in mentally and physically for the game.
Undefeated regular season, confidence is sky high for your team right now. How much are you have that confidence for your teammates, your overall team coming into the NCAA tournament with the beginning this weekend?
I mean, yeah, the confidence is definitely high. I mean, we say confident but humble, and confident and not cocky. There's a difference, and it's huge. So I think being humble and recognizing that we are good, but also proving and keep proving that we are that team and we are going to keep winning as long as we stick together.
Awesome. Looking forward to the opening match of the NCAA tournament against Carson Newman. That is at 6 p.m. on Friday, November 17th, right here at the soccer field at the Moretz Sports Athletic Campus. This was the SAC Women's Soccer Tournament MVP. Ella, congratulations on an incredible week, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome back to Bears Talk, presented by J. Brown Realtors. We are now joined alongside by national champion Sabrina Fleig, who had the best individual time across all of Division II this last weekend at the National Championships. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us here on Bears Talk today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Second straight championship now for the program. How exciting is it to go back to back?
I think it's very exciting for our whole team, not just to win the national title once, to win it twice. We all put a lot of effort into training, and triathlon is a sport where you have to train a lot, so you have to be very engaged, and it's good to that it shows all the work that we put in it, that it shows through the national title.
You mentioned for the team how well you guys trained as well. You got the best time in all Division II. What was going so well for you on Saturday to finish with a top spot?
So in the past races I had struggles with the swim start. I think that was one thing that went a lot better this race. And except that, just things like transition are always like a point where I struggle a bit. So this also went better this time. Yeah.
Coach Mason was on Bears Talk last week, and she emphasized that the running portion of the race is your strong suit as a team. It appeared to be your strong suit as well on Saturday out in Tempe, with the 5th best time across all divisions as well. Coming into the last leg of the race, how do you stay mentally and physically prepared to go the distance at the very end and make that final push?
I always try to focus on like what I'm doing right now and like the next step. And I also try to not like use all my energy at once. So I try to like use it wisely. And I know that if I'm running too fast in the beginning, then I will not have the energy at the end. So yeah.
It just stays a busy week for you. You fly out to Tempe, you win a national championship, you come back, and you have another flight coming up this week as well as you'll head out to Missouri for the NCAA Cross Country Championships. What has this week been like for you? A lot of travel, a lot of racing. How have you done a good job to get from one event to the next and keep the same motor going?
Yeah, I think I never flew that much as I will fly, or that I'm flying
Yeah.
in this few weeks. And it's pretty busy, but I just like enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to the race, so that keeps me motivated.
Yeah, and you also have ran on so many courses recently as well. You stayed relatively on the East Coast for the cross-country season, but out to Missouri, just how difficult is it to prepare for a course change-up and getting ready to go for a big-time race like a national championship?
I think for me it's enough if I see the race course like 1 or 2 days before, just to know where the tricky parts are. And yeah, I think that's enough.
You get to represent Lenoir-Rhyne in a great realm. Triathlon, cross-country, as you mentioned, track and field as well. What does it mean like to be here at this university and get to compete on so many different sports?
It means a lot to me. Also, like the school is supporting me, my coaches are supporting me, so it's nice that I can show my gratitude through my performance. Yeah, I really like that.
And a 5th place finish in the Southeast Regional for your cross-country event to qualify for national championships. How are you looking to build on that performance this upcoming weekend out in Missouri?
I like now the training is done. Like I can't change anything at my performance anymore. So the only thing I can focus on now is like being mentally prepared and just having fun, trying to give my best. Yeah.
Awesome. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck out in Missouri this week for the NCAA Cross Country Championships. That will take place on Saturday, November 18th. You can tune in on ncaa.com to watch Sabrina run for the top spot. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting.